Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I am Sonique and this is from the Oneness Emporium order that I made. So I've already done one video opening the box and showing you what's inside and going through a couple of things from it. But I've still got some more and I was a bit too tired to carry on. So I'm doing them separately. So one of them was this Tarot Disassembled tarot deck. I already had this guidebook and it's brilliant, it's really, really good. However, the pictures are in black and white. And I thought, at this juncture, I'm going to actually get the deck itself because it's in colour. But what this deck does is it breaks down the symbolism of each card, which I think is fantastic. It really helps just to, you know, if your eye is drawn to a symbol on the card, we can easily then go to this book or go to this deck, if you like, and read up on that symbolism. So I've got here Lily. So that's purity, virtue, innocence and knowledge. Once again, we see here a combination of lilies and roses together. So this is the Two of Wands. The two work together in tandem to represent the need to balance the energies of the spiritual realm, which is the lily, with the energies of the material realm, which is the rose, to achieve your future goals. The lily also represents applying the knowledge of your life experiences thus far to your future planning. How cool is that? So that's the guidebook. It's 267 pages, and then we have the index of symbols, so you can just go to the back and look up the symbol that you want to have more information on. And I've been wanting a guidebook like this for a long time, believe you me. And I think this is just filled that niche. So this came out in 2024. And it's raised. All these symbols are raised. It's textured, which is lovely. Nice touch. So with the box, those aren't raised there, but some of these symbols are like glossy. So there's that. Let's have a look. I hope we've got enough light. We have another grey day. So let's have a look at this. I've actually taken the plastic off. It is a thumb cutout. It's the inside, that's pretty. It's Wiser Books. I have to say, this is from Oneness Emporium. So it comes with, oh, it's in the bottom. The true tarot is symbolism. It speaks no other languages and offers no other signs. And that is actually from Arthur Edward Waite himself. Okay, let's take this out the band. We've got a beautiful yellow colour on the edges. It goes great with my backdrop, doesn't it? I get lost. We need some brightness in these grey days, don't we? So, looks like these are the backs. And this is by Jennifer Cooper Stadley, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm not sure. What's it say? The Tarot Disassembled deck is based on the symbology of the Rider-Waite-Smith. For those of you new to the tarot, the RWS deck is arguably the most iconic and widely circulated deck in the world, and the basis for the majority of modern decks created since it first came on the scene in 1910. Also available and sold separately is this companion book, and there's the ISBN for the book. I didn't tell you what was on the back of the box. Let's read the back of the box then. With a bright colour palette and bold graphics, this unique deck deconstructs and re-examines the traditional symbolism found in the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot, opening the door for fresh insights into a classic. Tarot Disassembled allows the user to connect with the tarot in a completely intuitive way, free from any pictorial narrative around gender, skin colour, age, size, ability, or any other human constructs. The simplicity of the symbols makes it great first deck for beginners, and pros will enjoy unpeeling the traditional tarot like an onion, discovering layer upon layer of meaning in the richness of simple imagery. So let's have a look at the simple imagery. So here's the Fool, and it's just broken the symbols down. So shall we get a Rider-Waite-Smith and put it next to it for funsies? Okay, so I've got the universal weight here. A very unfair comparison. So I think this will be interesting. So we have the sun, the knapsack, the rose, the bird, which is difficult to see. I've talked about this in another video, but there's an actual eagle on the satchel there. We have the mountain itself, we have the dog, we have these that we find on the tunic here, we have the red feather, the mountains in the background, the boots. So they've really deconstructed all of the images, all of the symbols on the image. And each card is a different colour. It's really going nicely with the blue here, isn't it? And what they've also done here, interesting, they've got the tree of life, and actually the pomegranates on the back of the curtain are arranged in the formation of the tree of life. So it highlights that, which is a detail people often miss. A lovely green for the Empress. The red energy for the Emperor. Even goes with his beard there. Hierophant. And they've put in the checkered board for the checkered tiles that the Hierophant has under the feet there. So yeah, all of the symbols are included. So the numbers are normal numbers. They're not the Roman numerals that we find on the major arcana. But I think this would be good if there's some symbols on the Rider-Waite-Smith that you've missed, weren't aware of, because the whole deck is based around symbolism, as Waite says himself in that quote there in the book, in the bottom of the box, sorry. So you get the idea. Like the mannequin. Cardstock, a little bit cardboardy. But to be fair, I wouldn't be using this deck as, you know, shuffling and pulling cards. I would use it as a reference for my studies of the Rider-Waite-Smith and the symbolism there. So when we look at the Ace of Wands, normally we just look straight at the hand holding the wand, but here it's highlighting the fact that there's this castle in the background as well, and the mountains, and the odds, and the tree, the wand itself, all the elements are there, and even a symbol for fire to let us know that it is associated with fire, this suit. They're sticking together a little bit. sticking plaster. This symbol here isn't a window, it means stage. There's a few cards where they're on a stage. So that's to highlight that fact. So we could see that as a stage of life, couldn't we? All that we're acting out. See, stage, they're on a stage. Okay, so I have always been intrigued about this hat. I just don't understand that hat. So I'm going to look in the guidebook for the Two of Pentacles, and that'll give us a flavour of the guidebook itself. We get 2.5 pages. The keywords: balance, change, options, adaptability, juggling, flux, overextension, fluctuation, and the associations. So astrologically, it's Capricorn, the planet is Jupiter, and the element is Earth. The symbols, so the boats. Navigation, inner compass, journey, transition, refuge. These poor little ships are navigating some pretty choppy waters. You'll notice, however, they are still managing to stay afloat just fine, symbolising that we too can be resilient in the face of rough times. Hands. The hands here are shown juggling 2 pentacles, indicating a need to find balance in some area of your life. Hat. Here we go, hat. Role, persona, thought, status. What an unusual red hat we find on this card. The traditional hat worn by performing jugglers looks similar in shape, and so this hat may be intended to reinforce the juggling energy of this card. But they're not typically exaggeratedly tall like this one. Let's not beat around the bush. This hat has a definite phallic aspect to it. But why on this card? As this card is a 2, one association with overt masculine energy may tie back to the Kabbalistic tree of life. Chokmah is the second sephirah on the tree of life. It is located on the right side of the diagram, and all of the sephirah on the right side are associated with force and masculinity. It may be that the hat implies a need to take aggressive action in order to get your life back in balance. Or it could simply be a device to help balance the more feminine energies of the pentacles and water found on this card. Or to be more blunt about it, the hat may be saying that no matter how turbulent your life is right now, there's no need to be a dickhead. Oh, excuse me. Not funny. Anyway, moving on. Pentacles, element of earth, physical or material realm, money and material possessions. 5 elements, harmony, protection, nature, feminine principle. Shoe, action, journey, travel, grounding, connection to the earth, humanity, consciousness, civility, protection. The green colour of the shoe reinforces a connection to the earth. It's important to remember that even when things get a bit topsy-turvy, you can still maintain a sense of groundedness and stability. Stage, fantasy, illusion, over-dramatisation, perspective, keeping up appearances, story. In the 2 of Pentacles, the stage symbol may suggest that someone is putting on an act. As this card is all about a juggling act, it makes me think of someone who is stretched too thin and pulled in too many directions, but is intent on making others believe they are balancing things just fine, when in reality they're about to collapse under the weight of one of those pentacles at any moment. Water, emotions, movement, ebb and flow, power, depth, intuition, subconscious. The turbulent waters of the 2 of Pentacles represents the natural fluctuations we experience in life. Quick takes. A balancing act, multitasking, pulled in different directions. Change is inevitable. Weigh your options carefully. Remain adaptable during times of transition. Indicates fluctuations in finances, investment choices, potential for travel. Reversed. Stretched too thin, trying to do too many things at once, and need to bring things back into alignment. Balance your finances. Well, that was a giggle. I'll always remember that now. That's never going to leave me. Okay, let's get serious. 3 of Pentacles. So you can see how the guidebook reads. It's really good. It goes well into depth on each of the symbols of the card. And that's something I've been wanting for so long. I've got books that try to do that, and I've not found one that does it to my satisfaction. And I think this is the one I will reference when I want to dive deeper into a symbol within the Rider-Waite-Smith system. Not a bit lost there. Okay. Got the doggies. Don't forget the doggies. Page. Difficult to pick these up now. A knight, the Queen, and the King. So I'm really glad I picked this deck up, and I think it's going to be worthwhile as part of my studies. So thank you so much for watching, and until my next video, bye friends, bye.